So we just got to the convention center and I'm getting ready to go speak in just a minute. But before I do, I just wanted to make this clip for you guys who are thinking about becoming speakers or getting your message out there in a bigger way. You know, my topic and my keynote is the art of social influence. And before coming up with my keynote, I used to always have to customize my speeches everywhere I went because I didn't have a key message. And so it would take me a lot of preparation. I would have to practice it. I would get to the event, you know, stressed. I wonder if this is gonna go well. I hope I don't forget what I was gonna talk about. And what's awesome about having a keynote is I already know it's gonna go well because I've given this speech again and again and again. It's the same exact speech over and over and over again. So I don't have to prepare the way I used to have to prepare from scratch. I just get to review my content, refresh myself, and then go on stage and rock it. So if you're thinking about becoming a speaker, I recommend in putting together that rock star speech that you can bring anywhere and run with it for 2 to 3 years. And then you can create a new keynote topic and run with it. And then eventually you'll stack all of your different keynotes so people can book you or request you based on, you know, what you're gonna be talking about. Good to meet you, Emily. Good to meet you.
Hi, Nate.
Good to meet you, Nate. That's cool. Well, this is a great first event. You know, I think the venue is awesome. A lot of times, you know, you start your first event like a small side hotel room.
Right.
You guys went straight to the convention center, which it's like, because I've done the 1 days and I've done the 3 days. The 3 days, something about it, it creates more of like that community and the culture, and you're able to build a lot more rapport and then do your offer where you can actually like have them come to the back and put some higher amounts down, you know, for a program, because there's like that trust and that credibility established. Message. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. Depending on what you're promoting, you're going to have multiple messages, but these messages you need to know and get down. You're going to be able to promote these on social and your emails and when you get a chance to speak on stage, there's constantly opportunities. But if your message isn't connecting, it doesn't matter how big of an audience is or how many people you have a shot to connect with, it's not going to connect. What's your name? Darren. Darren. Great to meet you, Darren. Thank you. Thank you. Here, I'll give you this here. Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This is me.
Great. Oh, wow. What a great brand. Wow. Oh, I love this. Okay, great. Let me put this right here.
But yeah, I love what you
Let me sign this for you here. So I just got done with my speaking engagement here at the Quantum Leadership event, and it was so amazing to see how engaged people were. They were listening, they were attentive, and then afterward they came to the back of the room to see me to learn more, and that just let me know that they received what I brought. They received the gift that I brought to the table today, and I love to see that. And that's what I want to see for you. You have a message, you have a story that you want to bring out, and it's not about you, but it's about serving others. And when you do, it feels great, and your impact and your influence grows to the next level, and it's a lot more fun doing it that way.
That outlived me. They gon' tell the story, shit was different with me. God's plan. God's plan.
I know.
Elise. You look so.
Good morning. We are here at the beautiful Terraneo Resort. And I'm going to be taking you guys with me today on one of our client video shoots. We're getting the equipment ready right now, and we're going to be flying some drones today. It's going to be beautiful. You can see we're getting ready to do a cool shoot here. We have Sarah, Tim on videography, Johnny on. You look like the Mexican John Stamos?
No.
Did they say you look like John Stamos?
What?
You kind of do look like John Stamos from Full House, like.
You're an idiot.
What kind of equipment do you got on you?
My baby is my 70 to 200.
Ooh, I love it. I want to leave Elise out. She's our project manager. Yeah, so
on site.
So we're not only showing them, we're showing them our mindset behind what we're doing as well. So, you have any tips for us?
Plan ahead.
So what Elise does is she actually pulls the vision from the client, and then she storyboards the whole process and directs all of our creative team, so that way the day is organized and it flows the right way. And I just show up and look pretty. So I wanted to just quickly share, you know, we're here on our brand shoot, and I think that so many times you can look at, you know, a situation and you think, man, I'm supposed to be farther than I actually am. And I want you to know that for so long, when I had a vision to, you know, come up with a creative branding agency, it was just me and it was just another creative, and we were working literally in the basement of his mom's garage, and we were putting images up on computers, working in Adobe Illustrator and working on our Final Cut Pro, trying to put pieces together. And I just had a vision to put all of this stuff in one place, and one by one we got one teammate at a time, and it's taken us years to develop the team that we now have. And so whatever it is that you're going after, just know that there's a process and a time that it takes. And I want you to be able to just continue to work it out again and again and again, and eventually you'll start to get some smaller wins, and these smaller wins add up to big wins. And then people start to go, how did you do that? And the reality is there was just a lot of small wins along the way, and that's really what's happened here, is that we have an amazing creative agency, but it started with just me. It was one person, and now we have an amazing team, and we have clients all around the world. And I just want to encourage you that it can happen for you too, but it takes time, and you got to have patience in the process. Dude, I don't even know what that is. It looks like a hang glider with an engine on it. Like, people are crazy. Like, what is that? Like, an airplane wasn't good enough, so they had to like put a scooter on a hang glider. But I mean, that's what makes it fun, because you know that, like, I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen. All right, so you just got to join us for the day. This is just a behind the scenes look at some of our creative work. Ultimately, all of these pieces come together, and what we're gonna do is go back into the office, and we're gonna put all of these pieces together and actually launch the brand. And part of that goes into monetizing the brand and really doing a lot of the social elements too. And so you just got to see a little fraction of that process today. So think about what this could look like for your brand. Maybe you can invest in some media, get some production going, and be able to do a brand elevation and launch and see what's possible.
Change is consistent.
Yeah.
That's just life.
That's right.
And either we're changing for the better or we're changing for the worse, but we are changing. And that's the choice to change is us. We make the change better or worse. First, it was a thought sermon. You can't even turn them until you stop turning to what you're turning to. Stop thinking the way you're thinking. And he said the kingdom of heaven is at hand. What he was saying is all the power, everything you'll ever need to succeed is here. But you got to turn from the things that are causing you to fail, be miserable, have no peace, emptiness. You could turn from that, you could turn to me. But you can't have both. Isn't that right?
That's right.
You can't have both, and that's what we're here to do. Why? Because God gave me a life, and he gave me the power to succeed. And I read last week, I read the scripture. It says that God finds pleasure in the prosperity of his servants. So when we make up our minds to serve him, say, I want to please God, he'll succeed. I find so much pleasure in that.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
That's crazy. Yeah.
I find so much pleasure when you're doing good. I'm doing great.
Wow.
Because he knows this. You're doing good because you're following my instructions. I know you can't succeed without my instructions.
If you apply the things that he's going to teach you today, I promise you, you have a way better success rate. You will have a way better chance to be successful in life. All right. So with that said, let's all give a hand for my bro, Adam.
And so what we got to do is we have to first, in order to get a God dream, the first step to that is we have to get a divine revelation. What a divine revelation means is it means that God reveals his plan to you. It means that God reveals his plan to you. See, you've got to be able to understand first what God has to say about you. See, some of you guys are going through some bad situations. Let's say that this table represented the starting ground 0. Let's say this table represented 0. And this side represented a lot of success and abundance. And this side represents a lot of debt and problems. So if this is the start line, some of you guys have been born into a situation where your start line is back here. Here's what I mean by that. You were born into a family that is an emotional wreck, so there's a lot of dysfunction in your family, right? There's a lot of financial problems, so you're not getting an inheritance. You have to crawl out of that situation now because your parents weren't financial examples, right? Some of you guys didn't have spiritual guidance, so you learned a lot of bad habits. You didn't understand how to grow up God's way. Some of you guys have surrounding of friends that aren't good for you, and you never really got the right association. Some of you guys have family that's just a bad influence. All they do is they sit around and they don't do anything with their life. They're not good examples. And so all of these things have added up in your life, and they've brought your start line back here. And what's so beautiful is that when you get a divine revelation, it doesn't matter how far back you go. What the word says is that God could turn all things to good for those who love the Lord. And what's so beautiful is that my favorite quote is this: with every seed of adversity comes with it a seed of equal or greater opportunity. So what does that mean? That means that the farther that you go back this way, there's an opportunity somewhere in this mess to pull back and fly this way. So however far back you go that way, you have the opportunity to go back this way. Kind of like a slingshot. Have you ever seen a slingshot before? And you pull the slingshot back? The farther it goes back, God has the ability to propel you forward in the equal or greater opposite direction. And you're going to be up here sharing your story because I was in your seats. And God can move you at God's speed. And this is one of the best houses of God there are, I believe, in the world. This is a spiritual, a karate center. You guys come out of here with taekwondo in the spirit. You guys are ninjas. You guys are warriors. You guys have some of the best pastors and leaders in the world. And I believe that miracles are going to come out of this house today. Thank you guys so much for having me. God bless.